So, right, the demo to have a shorter demo. I think it's very late for you guys. Sorry, I couldn't, initiate the demo in your daytime. So, right, I just would like to give a brief introduction about, explain about what is CRM, why, what is Salesforce, what is Salesforce application. No, it will give overview of Salesforce application and about Salesforce company and what are their products, so where they are majorly, concentrating in which part of the business, and about our course and difference between these two profiles. Already given some idea about this profile, but we'll give more additional details about these two profiles in Salesforce. And what you will get out of this course, where I am more concentrating as part of this course. So how I will help you, in achieving your goal till you appear for interview. So how the relationship would be, even after the course, how you will connect for any future reference or any clarification. So those things I will also will explain. So before I explain about what is CRM, the Salesforce, the company, co-founded by a person, Mark Benioff. Co-founder, now along with others, his friends, they are started its company in a small an apartment in state San Francisco, in city San Francisco, California. Now, say their objective was to provide a customer relationship management software. What is customer relationship management software? I'll explain in the next slide. So actually, their objective was to provide a sales automation software. Okay, those software a customer can access using internet connection. Now, how you will usually develop the application? There are two ways you can create an application, right? One is on-premise application and on-demand application. So on-premise application, see, if you like to develop an application using Java, right, .NET based, what you will usually do, you have to setting up the infrastructure, right? You have to install the related software in your system. Correct, Java software or a storage, a data storage software, Oracle or whatever is applicable, right, suitable for your business. You will install everything. So you need to invest setting up the environment before you actually start developing your application, right? So in other end, right, what is on-demand application, cloud computing application? It doesn't require any software, any application-specific software need to be installed in your system. So it's on-demand application. So the Salesforce company objective was to provide an application, a software where customer can use that software to automate their sales business. Right? Sales business consists of different modules, right? When you sell any product, say a credit card company, when trying to sell their credit card, they will approach, call the persons, not their customer, right? Some person from the database, they took the phone numbers and they call the persons and market about their product, marketing about the features in the credit card. So it starts with marketing. Now the marketing event is called campaign in sales technology. Campaign. So they start with the campaign and they follow up with the lead. Lead is a person who may or may not buy your product. Is a lead, is a prospect. So right, so the agent will follow with the lead, and once the agent showing the customer, the lead showing some interest, the agent will follow with the lead, and they convert the person as an opportunity. So those things are part of your sales business, like starting from campaign, then lead, then they will create an opportunity. Then finally, they will convert. When the lead is ready to buy a product, then they will become your customer. The customer is nothing but it's becoming an account in the sales terminology. I'm talking about sales terminology. These are the simplest life cycle of sales, right? So right? So this sales process, how traditionally was happening, right? We suppose I have a no I have a sales agent, 10 sales agent, for working for my business to sell my product. uh, I mean, all of you, stop me anywhere if you're not able to follow me. So far I'm clear, right? Able to hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, yeah.
Fine. Okay. So anywhere, if you feel like that terminology is different and I'm unable to follow what you're, so don't feel free to stop me. I'm ready to explain a number of times. I'm okay to repeat. Okay. So feel like you are running a sales business, and I have 10 agents. Agents in the sense I have right employee working for to sell my product, right? Like credit card, sales people. So think about each agent is dealing with hundreds of customers in a day, right? Each agent is dealing with hundreds of, you can't say it's customers because they're not buy your product. Once they buy your product, they become your customer. You can see 100 leads or contacts, So right, deals with 100, and each agent is managing the contacts in different devices. The agent, one agent handling the device in his mobile, and another agent is handling information, the contact information in Excel sheet, and another in laptop, and another in his the desktop system. Another is simply noting down everything in your hard copy, your book, your notepad or something. Okay, so right, so there is a chance. What are the drawback in this? In this traditional way of handling the information, sales information, right? At the agent manager, if you like to know how many leads, how many contacts how many leads have really converted as opportunity, how many of them become going to be customers, and how many of them is really looking like they will buy your product. What is the probability? So organizing all those information, right? Because information are being managed in different devices. So it means, right, the lead process, it's a kind of lead management, it's a part of your lead management. It's not streamlined. The process is not streamlined in terms of data storage, right? Then think about, I interacted with a lead. I need some information to provide to the customer. The lead is asking, what is a service fee for, right? Is asking some different question about the product and the service fee and all those things. The agent is not having those information in hand right now. Then what he has to do, whether he has to reach office to interact with the right person, manager or someone, or he can call up, right? So whatever the case, the customer has to wait, right? The lead has to wait. So think about if agent can able to interact with the customers on cloud. It means, if think about, there is an application where customer can interact with the all his co-agents, there's a marketing head or someone, just like your Facebook. You have application like that to reach, to get the information on the cloud using internet connection, using a mobile, a laptop or tab or whatever, and each agent if all the lead information is being stored in one table called lead, and everyone, right, every agent interacting, following up all the lead information in one table, then you will be able to see, right, finding the information about how many leads are converted to opportunity, and what is the status of the lead. Some lead will tell you like, you contact me next week, you reach me, you set up a meeting today evening. So whatever the reason, right, everything can be tracked in one table, and you can avoid the duplicate of same person, you're calling the same person, and you interact with the other department people, right, on this part, using cloud, and you can, right, you can manage your information everything in a standard process, in a standard streamlined way. So that is what we call it as customer relationship management software. So CRM is basically help you to organize information in one central database. All departments can able to refer the one version of data, and so it is actually right. The CRM strategy says how good you can manage your organization interaction with customers leads. You got me? So that is what the CRM strategy says. So there are a number of software, in the market based on CRM. Any question on this?
So, Ranjit, what I understood is when you say campaign, it means marketing. So, marketing
event, marketing event.
Marketing event, yes. So when you say lead, it means a people contact, right? It's a contact information about the people.
Exactly, prospect. They are the people. They see when I conduct a seminar or conduct any a stall, for example. I put a stall. I do some some entertainment program. Like you see someone right selling a car, they will make a campaign. So that's a kind of event. They would get different contacts. They would get a business card. They would get an email ID. They would get a phone number. All those contacts are called as prospects. Got me? Yeah. Right. So you interact with the prospects through phone calls, emails, or meetings, or through social media, whatever the case. So you need to, if your leads are very huge, if your leads are very less, there won't be any lead management is required in your sales process, right? Because you'll be very more comfortable in handling those leads in right your phone or Excel sheet or something. If the lead is very huge, like thousands of leads you are interacting, each agent is interacting thousands of leads, then think about how difficult if you manage the leads, right? Information, the right everything in a device. It's very difficult, right? So that's the reason, right? The CRM strategy says how you can manage the customer interactions with the customers and prospects, because it's not only the right you need a better process for prospect, you also need a better process to retain the existing customers, right? Once a customer bought your product, you have to retain the customers by providing a right support, right? A proper support to the customers. So that comes under support process. So altogether, how you can manage, so the strategy, right? There are different strategies how you can manage an interaction, organization interaction with customers and prospects. No, it's nothing but customer relationship management strategy. So there are a number of products in market, based on this CRM strategy. So one of the demanding, cloud computing product is CRM, Salesforce CRM. So similarly, right, we have Microsoft Dynamics, Siebel CRM, SAP CRM. Anyone have heard about any other CRM? And we have any other?
Oracle
CRM is called as Siebel CRM. Oracle CRM, they name it as Siebel. Okay, so SAP CRM, and we have a CRM for specific to pharmaceutical industry and all those. Okay, so why? Right, you can ask me why the Salesforce CRM is demanding compared to why can't I I go with Microsoft or Siebel or SAP, right? Yes. Excuse me. One of the main reason, right? You have to understand why the Salesforce would be is kind of demanding CRM in the market. So, right, at the end of the session, maybe. So I give the features and services, one by one. So as I told, Salesforce started in 1999. Their main objective was to provide a customer relationship management software over the cloud. So the customer, right, need not install any application specific software. They can they can enroll with the Salesforce. It's a kind of subscription business, like the Zoom software, you are connecting with the Zoom software, right, on free. It's a free product. So when you host a meeting, you have to subscribe with Zoom vendor, and right, so that I'm subscribed for a basic version, so that it's a kind of monthly I have to pay. So because I'm holding a basic license, right, a basic license where I can organize one meeting, 50 participants can join. So this is a kind of basic edition, called as edition, Zoom edition. I'm subscribed. So similarly, the Salesforce company was providing a CRM application where any sales, right, any customers would like to automate their sales process, automating the campaign, the lead management, the opportunity management, right, everything. So based on a CRM strategy, so how they can select the particular package and they can subscribe for monthly basis. Per user basis they have to pay. Okay, so right, so the software, the sales software, the sales uh, package was called as Sales Cloud. So they name it as each product with the word suffix with cloud. So Sales Cloud is a CRM application provided by Salesforce company. It's called as Sales Cloud. Using this, the customers can automate the sales business. Similarly, like your call center process, how the customer can call the agent, support agent. Support agent will log the ticket, and they will follow with the ticket, provide the solution, and assign to the right team. All those different process in the support process. How you can automate those process? No, this is actually they also having a product called Service Cloud. Right, so Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, and these are the two main product Salesforce is providing. Apart from this, they have Marketing Cloud, which is specifically designed to automate your marketing event. Okay, so you can able to see all the their different products, services in their company website. So these are official website, Salesforce.com.
Ranjit, I have a question.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the data storage, so you mean to say that when we are getting into this cloud, cloud is a kind of database or something like where the data everything will be
Yeah. I got your question. I will explain you in a while. I am going to explain about the overview of about how the architecture, the data is being stored. How you are.
When you explain about this contact, right? When you explain about these people, contact, the leads, and everything, where I got some doubt, like how the security of data will be maintained.
I'll tell you. I'll explain a while. So these are all the standard product. Standard product means the product, the feature has already been provided by this vendor. A vendor is Salesforce here, right? So when you connect to the login to the a Gmail or a Zoom, whether you are doing any customization, no, right? You are just using the feature which already been there defined by the vendor. So it means there are the standard features. So Salesforce is following a terminology called standard and custom. So what does it standard means? The standard means the feature already been developed, out of box features. Okay, you need not create tables like a campaign or lead or opportunity or account to store your information. All these tables are already been defined by the customers, and you can directly when you enroll for a basic model, you'll be able to see all the tables are already been created. You have to start storing your business information. You can start run your business basically. So right, those features are called standard features, right? But also you can see any application, right, provided by the vendor as a ready-made application, you will find somewhere you need customization, right? You will not the product will not fit for every business, right? Some business may have a unique features, unique use cases. They need some more additional table or additional features apart from the feature provided by the Salesforce. standard features. So in that sense, right, we need option to customize the application. You got me? We need features to customize the application either through point and click or using some programming language. Now, so those platform, right, features is also provided by Salesforce. So Salesforce is providing a standard features and custom features. They are part of cloud computing. So cloud computing in the sense, you are not installing any specific software in the system. You are accessing application using internet connection. So cloud computing. So what is cloud computing? Any software, right? It's any application is hosted in the internet, and you are accessing using the internet connection. You need a browser, right? You need a browser compatible for that application. So right, all those services called cloud computing services. Okay, so there are three types of services in the cloud computing: SAS, PaaS, IaaS. Software as a service. Did anyone know what is PaaS?
Platform as a service.
Platform as a service.
Yeah, platform as a service and
Infrastructure.
infrastructure as a service. Like software as a service. So how do you call this Sales Cloud and Service Cloud? How do you call a Zoom software? How do you call a Facebook application when you download and have it in your mobile? So it's all those are software as a service, right? So it means you can access all the predefined features, right? You cannot customize the Gmail. You cannot customize the Zoom. You cannot customize a Sales Cloud. If you have only option to access the features defined by the customers. So it comes under software as a service. So any vendor can provide a service entirely, software as a service. So you have limitation in this part, right? Because you can't, every business can't fit for Sales Cloud. They need a customization. So right, the Salesforce now when they introduced the product, it was completely a software as a service. But later point of time, they realized, customer, the product is not fit for every business, right? Most of the business needs some customization. I would like to add some more column into this table. I would like to create another table, discount. So some discount, the table itself is called discount. I like to create another table called employee. So whatever, I need an option to create a table on my own. It's not like I am going to use only the out-of-box feature. So in that sense, right, they need a customization. So you need a platform. So vendor can also provide a cloud service where they can provide a platform also. So it means the platform can be a point and click, or it can be a programming language. Okay, so such kind of services. Salesforce was the first platform service provider company. It was the first number one platform provider company in the world. They started the cloud computing PaaS service. So now it's there are a number of products providing such kind of service. Amazon is providing a space. You can run your e-com business using Amazon data storage. It's a platform as a service. Amazon is providing. It's not providing a complete platform to develop an application, but a part of platform as a service. Amazon is providing. So Salesforce is providing a complete platform where any kind of business you can develop any kind of application you can develop as you use the Java application, .NET application. They're providing their own native language. Okay, I will explain in a while. So and we have another type of service called IaaS. You heard about Rackspace? Rackspace. Any of you? So
yeah, I heard about this Rackspace.
See, actually, yeah. Yes, they are providing infrastructure service. They are providing a storage. Not only the storage, you not simply manage the information. Apart from storage, it's maintaining those everything, the complete infrastructure for to manage your email domain, you can use Rackspace. So Rackspace is a vendor like providing infrastructure as a service. So Salesforce, the Sales Cloud, if you're the Sales Cloud application, if you enroll with that application, you'll be able to use the standard features. You can able to customize the Sales Cloud application, and all your information will be stored in a remotely in a storage managed by vendor. So right, I will explain you how your data is secured. See, the architecture, where
Hold on. I'm sorry. Before getting into that, I just want to clarify one thing. Like, if you say software as a service, so what does it mean? Like, it means that there is no customization will happen. What do you do?
Yes,
what
yes,
they have, we have to live with that.
correct.
Okay.
See,
When you say,
tell me.
yeah, that's what. Like, we cannot do the customization. It's a basic. Stuff. What it is already built in, right? That is called software as a service.
Yeah, may not be basic. It's a software already built, developed by a vendor. That's all. It may be basic or it may be an advanced.
That's it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So if it comes to platform as a service, it's a part of it. It includes SaaS as well as we can customize what we want for
Correct.
our.
It may include SAS plus a customization. Got me. You can also access the inbuilt features, and you can also have option to customize this. Yes.
So when it comes to infrastructure as a service, so here this is something like they are owning everything, like the software as a service, the PaaS, and as well as they are owning their own storage, right?
Exactly.
Which means they are maintaining their infrastructure as well.
Exactly.
So okay, got it.
Exactly. So right. So, but if you see the Rackspace, you cannot, you will not find a platform to customize application, isn't it? So they are only providing a space, right? Some additional features, right? Some the required related features to manage your information. But you will not find a complete platform or something to customize your application. So that's why they differentiated these three services. Got me?
Also, Ranjit, Salesforce will be like it will be using all three computing services.
Yeah, because exactly because you will find whenever store any information, these are all tables. Okay, so when you store information, you will see that information is not going to store in your system. It's stored somewhere. No, it's called
Yeah.
it's called a data base cloud, the database cloud. So there they manage all their informations. It's completely secured. I will tell you few secured, the part of the architecture, security, right? How the data is secured. So that's how they write their. It's called, the architecture is called multi-tenant architecture. Multi-tenant. No, it's a sharing architecture. Think about, right, when you enter into a premise, right, your company, right, all employees, the people in the company are sharing the electricity, the water resource, and infrastructure, right? Everything is being shared by different vendors, different customer people, using that entering to the building. So similarly, right, so multi-tenant architecture is kind of sharing architecture where every customers will share the resource, and but how the data is being secured between the customers, uh, you have option to we have option like everyone will have unique user ID password. Every customers will have a unique user ID password, and each when you enrolled for a basic package with the Salesforce, say Sales Cloud, a Sales Cloud basic package you are enrolled with, and you will be allocated with a specific data storage, specific storage for your login. So that is being that's being separated from other customers login by different a security part of architecture like login ID password, security token. it's I'm not going to much deep into the architecture part, but you can find they have they are managing information in different tables. In a table, first table will have a login ID, and like yeah, organization ID. Every login will have assigned with unique organization ID. So it's not like other customers, right? Cannot able to access your your space. So because each space is being differentiated by uh, 20, 16 digit, 18 digit alphanumeric organization ID. And the security token, if right, if you are trying to log in from different IP, you will be able to see n number of alphanumeric characters, complex alphanumeric characters consist called as security token. You have to suffix that security token along with your password. So this is like a part of a security part of how the data is secured. But apart from this, they have a huge data center where the complete cloud computing security has been implemented. So that's the reason, right? Millions of customers. Now the customers count is more than 50 millions. A number of customers already been enrolled for the Salesforce product. So why? Because the data is the security of the data is right. That's how the security is being justified. Justified is the one I am trying to give here is because there is no specific role in Salesforce stream like data administrator or uh, the security architecture. There is no specific role because entirely is being taken care by the Salesforce vendor. So actually, even the banking application, you might have heard about Wells, right? Wells, Ferg, and Bank of America. A lot of banking project, not entire banking business is being run in Salesforce. A part of the module is being handled in Salesforce. So Salesforce, right? Why? Because the data is being secured by different layers of security architecture. So,
Ranjit, I have a question here. When it
yeah.
comes to database to store the data, if you say like Wells Fargo or Bank of America, like how are they? Like, are they sharing that database or are they sharing that
See,
space?
a
Who's
simple thing.
providing the space?
Come again, come again. Put me a question in different way.
I have a question. Like where is the space coming from? Who is sharing the space? Is it the Salesforce vendor or it's owned by the bank and they are just using that Salesforce software? How it is? Who is? If you take the real exam or something, if you take any application where they will have some SQL servers or Oracle servers or database like mainframes, whatever it is. But when it comes to the cloud, like you said, it's login and the password, right? So there should be something like because when it comes to the disaster recovery and other areas, it's really complicated when it comes to sharing architecture. That's what I just concerned about. Who is sharing the space? Is it the bank or the client or the Salesforce vendor?
See, the Wellsburg Bank of America, they are one of the customers for among the millions of customers for the Salesforce. So Salesforce is actually right when you enrolled for a basic edition, Salesforce is providing complete. It's if you complete space, dedicated space for Wellsburg or Bank of America or no Rajesh, you are trying to enroll for an edition, developer edition. No, you will get a space that is completely accessible by your user ID login, and it's not only user ID password. That's what I'm saying. I'm not explaining your complete architecture. It's just one of the part of the security. What I'm trying to explain. So apart from that, right, each data is being organized in different pivot tables, and each tables is differentiated with unique ID called organization ID. So each edition will be assigned with unique organization ID. There are a number of the security part of is cloud computing securities is being implemented to secure the customer data. So that's the reason, right? Even the bank, so banking customers is becoming also a client for a Salesforce. So if you ask me, who is sharing the architecture? It's vendor. The data center is being maintained by the Salesforce. It's not a bank. It's not a client.
Okay.
See,
So, Ranjit,
yeah.
just one clarification, like So if you are saying like bank has is using bank is the vendor and it uses Salesforce, right?
Correct.
So it's like whatever the services you say that software as a service or platform as a service, is any of the services will be available for them separately? Is that?
Exactly.
And like if in case of like platform as a service,
Yeah.
they will customize some kind of service which would be helpful for the bank operations, right? Is that
Correct.
how
Correct.
it works? Okay.
Yeah, I'll tell you. You see here, right? I don't want to know in the in the
Can
demo
you give
session.
me an example
Yeah, yeah, I'll tell
of
you.
software as a
I will give you
service?
exactly. I
Okay.
will give you some idea. Just let me know if you are able to get some idea out of this here. I told you it's force.com architecture. No, in the platform as a service is called as force.com. They name it. They call the platform as a service as force.com. So this is all about a platform architecture. Okay. So when you see here, there is a database and there is an application server. And what is multi-tenant? The system catalog. It involves caches, query optimizer, and development features. So altogether, when you see here, there are different layers of no, they're divided into different layers. The storage part is divided into different layers, right? One will actually store the information, and the another layer will actually store the metadata of this data. See, all the table definitions will be stored here. The common table definitions, like as you told, as you asked, how the different vendors will share the common features. The bank customers may need a specific features fit for their business. That's what I'm asking, right?
Yeah, right.
Right. See here, the standard features will be accessible by all customers, depending upon which product they are enrolled with. No, if they are enrolled with, the package, the package itself is called as edition. The package is called as edition. If you see here in the company website, the product and sales cloud. So you go to the sales cloud, if you see the pricing part, you'll see the basic product cost you $25 per user, and the next edition $75. It's like the Zoom software. I'm enrolled for a basic edition where I can organize 50 participants. No, I can organize one meeting, 50 participants. If I enroll for professional edition of Zoom, I have to pay more, but I can any number of participants can be included. Likewise, a sales cloud application, only 5 users can log in, and with additional features, you have to pay more, and some advanced version, you have to pay more for per user. It will you can access n number of features, which is not there in the basic, the yearly edition, lower end edition. So, there will be common features, where if Bank of America is enrolled for enterprise edition, if again an insurance company enrolled for enterprise edition, all they will able to have access to all the common features. So that is actually comes under the common metadata. So that is being stored in the common metadata layer of the the infrastructure, and tenant specific.
All these services are developed by Salesforce.
Exactly. All these burdens, all this data maintenance, database maintenance, architecture, archiving the data, and if you might heard about DB2 reorganization, right? Statistics, run statistics, run stats, and all those things, yes, being taken care by all those RDBMS, data maintenance, everything will be taken care by the a team, that is nowhere related to Salesforce, related technology. It's entirely a different technology. Altogether, they are providing you a space to storage and manage your information. So there is no profile or job profile or anything specific to Salesforce where you will have administrating the database, or you will manage right related to anything in the database. So everything is being managed by the vendor. So that's the reason right? The Salesforce is kind of, you have, you know what to do in your business. You know, I'm going to have, more than 5 users, and I need account and contact management. I need to have a lead table as part of this software. So only those things, right? You have to, you should be, uh, provide those details, when you interact with the Salesforce, then they will suggest you the product. And in a week, it's hardly 2 weeks time, you can able to automate your business entirely, migrate your business entirely to the Salesforce. So that's the reason it's a kind of demanding technology. There won't be any specific role or anything you need to invest time to, setting up the infrastructure, all those things. Everything is being ready. You have to check whether it's fit for your business, which platform. You have to choose on that. That's it.
Okay, basically, choose whichever application they want and get it from Salesforce, right?
Yeah,
Like where it is. Okay.
exactly. See, if bank customer, right? Bank customer may call this an account as a customer, but in insurance, no, if some client, they are okay to have follow this terminology account, but bank need, different label. They want the table to be named as customers. So that will be the difference. That kind of customization you can do for your standard products. But apart from that, the bank may need a table called payment. A bank may need a table called loan, right? So the bank may need different process automation and different, user interface. So all those will be kind of, yeah, tenant specific metadata. So that will be stored depending upon their organization ID. I told you every, edition you enroll with will assign with a unique 16-digit, 18-digit organization ID. So depending upon that, the tenant specific metadata will be managed. So not any other, right, customers can, access those information. Got me?
Okay. Yeah.
See, don't put effort to understand the architecture. Just have an overview idea of about architecture, because it's not like we are going to, analyze, run the business, analyze whether how the data is secured. It's secured. That's the reason you see the count of customers, for this Salesforce. It's secured. So I'm not having any, specific role to explain you about, the complete architecture. It's no use. There is no scope also, right? Or else I would have spent effort on knowing about, that how the data is secured and all those things. It's actually, but there is a justification. If you see this multi-diagram architecture, the article, you'll be able to understand some kind of, get an idea about how the data is being, managed. You see here, organization ID, group ID, object ID. So there are different types of pivot tables. Like that, the data is being secured. So it's one part of, the security model I'm trying to explain it. But there are a number of, security model has been implemented to secure the customer data. So you can see the status over here. What is the net asset and all those things. And I was trying to show you the count of customers. 1 minute. So Mark J. Benioff is the chairman and CEO. Started in 1999. In California, the headquarters. And these are all the main products: Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, the platform product, and Marketing Cloud. And when you scroll down, maybe the client count I can give it later, maybe, right? How many? And the number of companies they acquired, acquisition, right? How many companies they acquired? You see this, it's a very big list. Got me? It's a kind of big list, you can see. So what is the recent companies acquired? You can see 2016. 2016. So it's there, no, it's every year they trying to acquire the different companies, the competitors, right? So even the Microsoft Dynamics itself is a kind of partner with the Salesforce and Oracle and many vendors, they are demanding CRM vendors, they are becoming the Salesforce partners because Salesforce is not only into CRM business, their major part of business is CRM, but apart from that, they have different business like if you see here, data.com. It's basically it's a cloud-based automating system. You can where you will find the entire database, the contact information from different organization worldwide. If you enroll for this product, you'll be able to find all the contact information for entire contact information of the different organization through this product. And if you enroll for work.com, it's a social performance management platform. And if you enroll for site.com, there is a product called site.com, where it is not mentioned over here. Yeah. So there is a product called site.com, where you can develop a commercial website. It will support the third-party languages like web design languages, Ruby, JavaScript, everything, right? So you can create a commercial website using the platform provided by Salesforce. So apart from CRM business, so right, but the major part of the business is CRM. What we are going to learn. Any queries? Am I giving you information which you're not able to follow, or it's fine? Shall I proceed?
Yes, yeah.
Rajesh, how about you?
Yes, Sanjit. Yeah, actually, I'm just trying to think about it. Like where this is getting used. Wherever the Salesforce.com, the Salesforce.
Oh, which part of the business is having, right? Can use this Salesforce, right? That's what I question. Right. I'll explain you. See here. See the sales. Any business, right, will based on two objectives mainly. One can be a sales, another can be a support. Oh, right. When you sell your product, you'll support your customers. So that's the reason, right? To cover a wide range of customers, they have that basic product set in Sales Cloud and Service Cloud. Okay. Apart from that, you may need a so for example, I am running a retail business. Okay, so again a sales, right? Part of your sales business is something you're going to sell. And think about right, you are going to automate a big consulting firm recruiting process, right? It's very huge recruiting consulting company. I would like to manage everything in Salesforce. It's possible. You can create an entirely new application similar to Sales Cloud, because Salesforce is providing a platform to create a new application entirely similar to Sales Cloud, entirely similar to Service Cloud. You can create your own application and you can start using that application for your specific business need. It's not required. It's need to be yes Sales Cloud, but these are basic application, standard application. No, you can enroll if you like to automate your sales business. If your requirement is no, I don't want a Sales Cloud part of package. I need just a platform. I would create my own application because I feel whatever the features provided by Salesforce, whether it's Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, it's not going to be helpful for for my business need. I need platform alone. I need a point and click. I like to create my own application on my own. Yes, it's possible. So for that, you have to go with a license called App Cloud. So where they will provide you the platform where you will not be able to find the lead object, account object, opportunity object, but you'll be able to find a platform. Apart from the Sales Cloud, you will find a number of features, point and click, and more user-friendly features to create your own application. You got me? So Sales force, right? Sales Cloud. Even in the Sales Cloud itself, you'll be able to do this, right? But some customers or vendors, they need only platform. In that case, you can go for this kind of product.
So are you going to study everything, or what
We
is
are
the
going to concentrate on Sales Cloud and Service Cloud, because if you see here, the Sales Cloud and Service Cloud is the main part of their business. So that is more than enough. If you are strong in Sales Cloud and Service Cloud, that's what you are going to see it in real time project. You're not going to see it, like I don't remember anyone is actually using this. It's or more, right? If you have 100 customers, you see, I can assure you 99 customers will only use these products, Sales Cloud and Service Cloud. Now, so the rest of the products will be a kind of add-on license. No, they have a main license and add-on license. The Community Cloud is a kind of, your customers will also have a login ID, password to log in into the vendor, your business, and you provide access to, you provide information accessible by customers, few information, not every information, through this feature. This is a kind of add-on license. You'll pay additionally. Now, what you are paying for Sales Cloud, you'll pay some additional bug to have this feature. So there are other features will becoming add-on license. So it's enough. Learn Sales Cloud and Service Cloud. It's itself, you will find more things to learn. That itself is more than enough to work in the real-time project. You don't need to worry about rest of the. I will give an idea about what is what. That will give. Instead of you will not find any scope for the rest of the modules. You will find scope only for Sales Cloud, Service Cloud. Optionally, right? Sometimes you will find scope for Marketing Cloud.
And in which edition will be having classes? Was Classic or Lightning?
Yes. So Salesforce edition, all the editions having the. Hello, what happened? So I proceed. See, the Lightning is part of all the product. So Lightning, right? Lightning is a kind of is experience when you their Salesforce is having tool allowing you to switch between two logins. One login you will be able to see all the classic version. Classic version in the sense, right? Before they implement the Lightning concept, can you mute 1 minute? Yeah. So if you like, what is Lightning? Lightning is it's a kind of the navigations, and in the case of Classic, you will navigate into different page to access another page. You have to click on next. You have to navigate to a different page, and you have to click on next to navigate to another page. So what is Lightning in the sense? Lightning is replaced by different pages, and you will be able to see all the features in the one single page. It's a single page application. Lightning is another term you can explain. It's a single page application compatible to work in a mobile or a tab, where you will find, right, you will not navigate to more different pages, right? You will need everything in one single page. So that's what the mobile, and every data needs to be displayed in a compatible way. So that's what the Lightning concept has been introduced. Now, not every features in Salesforce is replaced by Lightning. It's only a part of your features being accessible through Lightning login. So, the course which I'm going to explain will cover Classic as well as Lightning also. We'll cover the Lightning basics, the development of few components of Lightning. So still, the Salesforce is not transitioned to Lightning completely. Okay. So there is no, every product, Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, and even, right, everything is having a Lightning part. Okay. So.
Ranjit, I have a
Yes.
question.
Yes.
I have seen the Sales Cloud or Salesforce automation and CRM. So automation in the sense, like, what does it mean here?
Right.
Because in service industry, it's a different term to be used for testing automation and everything. But here, like, what is the meaning? What is the definition?
What is automation, right?
Automation.
See,
Salesforce automation.
yeah. I withdraw money in a bank, right? Withdraw money in a ATM. So you get a notification in your mobile saying like, right, so amount has been debited and your balance is so and so. And when you right, when you approaching the credit card, due date, you get a message 5 days before saying like your the credit card due is right is by on so and so date. When right, when you submit an application for banking loan, you get a message like the progress of your the progress of your status, the status of your loan, like it is in the approval status, it is been approved, it's been sanctioned, whatever. So all those are happening manually, not right. Everything is happening automatically, right? So it means some process had already been defined, a criteria is defined, and whether the automation is kind of sending an email or update some information, or assigning something to some other people or whatever. There are different actions, the repeated business activities, right? These are repeated activities. Think about, right, millions of customers withdrawing money from your ATM. How can you do it manually? So you need some process automation in place where everything will be set, and when the criteria is met, the action will be taken, and you will be define the message, right? For example, it's an email. So right, that is what is called as process automation.
Okay, so which means necessary, repeated, and important actions are automated.
Exactly. So the way you can automate, there are a number of. I give some sample, just a simple feature. So think about if whenever you get a call from a agent, for a telecom company, right? So Airtel vendor, for example, they will, right? Each vendor, anytime a vendor will reach you, if you reach them, they will ask you a specific set of questions, right? Like what is your phone number, what is your email ID, or what is your product ID, or right, everything. You will just, they will first analyze, right, see whether you are entitled for support, you are their customers, right, whether you are entitled for providing the support. Then they will ask you the what is your issue. Then you will get a message automatically saying like the incident has been logged or something. So these are a standard process. So if they have a support team in place, okay, if they have a support team in place, think about, right, all all agent will follow the similar right, they will ask similar questions. So it means the process has been standard, and you can automate this process also. No Anyone, right, anyone is joined as a new team, a new member as a support guy. He will just have to click on a button, for example. Then it will open a element, a screen user interface, saying like, now when you call a customer call, you will ask these standard questions. When you click on next, you will ask this question. When you click on next, you will ask this question. Finally, you will submit it, and automatically a ticket will be created, and inside Salesforce, and the customer will get a message. So this type of process automation, right? It's not like if the process is not standardized, it's not automated. Then think about the agent, right? Will ask, sometimes the agent will ask the issue first. Some agent will provide the customer who is not entitled for the support. So those kind of process automation can be implemented using Salesforce. It makes sense? Able to follow, Rajesh?
Yeah, yes, yes, sir.
Right. So, and they also have a feature called App Exchange, a forum called App Exchange. You know about Play Store, right? Play Store is a marketing place. You can say it's a marketing place because, right, anyone can create an Android supporting application and market their application through Play Store, provided you meet the prerequisite what the Google Android is required. So similarly, App Exchange is a kind of a marketing place where you can download a Salesforce pre-integrated application. So I will take you to that page in a while. So this is actually a slide showing you 3 types of platform: infrastructure, cloud computing. So right, they call it as Salesforce.com. They name it as SAS software, and Force.com is a platform they're providing, okay, to develop the application. So that's why if you find the difference between Salesforce.com, Post.com, the term is nothing but SAS is termed as Salesforce.com and Post.com is termed as. And the development in Salesforce can be two approach, a declarative approach and programmatic approach. So declarative approach gives you a point and click, do not require any coding knowledge, and the other part of the application development require coding knowledge. And Salesforce administrator role, you will find who will manage the application, who will add the users, who will deactivate the users, who will create the report and dashboard, who will clean up the application, who will interact with the customers, and who will provide the trainings, and all those minor declarative changes comes under administrative profile. Developer who will do the coding using programming language. So completely they responsible for programming, right? Developing an application using program. So these are two basic profiles, but this administrative profile itself is having different sub profiles, like you say, business analyst, project coordinator, and the program manager, the architect sometime. So all those different profiles, job profiles, you will find under the administrative. So there is no specific administrator or a developer role in a project. Sometimes a developer himself will take care of administrative activities also. Sometimes the administrator will take care of developer activities also. Okay, depending upon your project size, if they can able to dedicatedly have one person to take care of these activities, they will call it as Salesforce administrator. Okay, so it's not necessarily right. Administrator has to only take care of administrator. Just a two stream in Salesforce. Got me? And these are the two URLs. Okay, so login.salesforce.com is used to log into production environment, and this is actually meant for testing environment. So you see here, there is a site called developer.salesforce.com. Okay, so this is having a huge repository where you can access, a documentation where you will find n number of workbook, to learn this Salesforce. So you need not worry about knowing all these things. I know only few of things. That is more than enough. The additional things, right? Because Salesforce is is try to cover, right, get customers across the business, across the different business. So you will not find each every case of the Salesforce product is helpful to you. So only it's enough you learn sales and service part of the business, and I will right. It's not time you to look into this workbook, because the course which I am going to cover is more than enough to work in the real-time environment till to your entire career. Like I said, the additional things, if you like to learn, you can learn it, because if you talk about the customization, a part of customization, right? It's itself they declared as they released as a one book. So not at this stage you need to worry about all this documentation, but you have option to refer their documentations. They have forum and they have Trailhead where you can learn by practice. So not at this stage. Maybe it will be helpful for you after after we cross the 50% of the course. You will find some helpful information. Can able to understand some part of these documentation. So it's a repository, Salesforce repository. You can access a number of materials, and in this site, if you see here the pricing, you'll see you can try for free. It's only applicable for 30 days. You can log in and see what are the features are there in the professional edition. Okay, and every business, right? Most of the business you will find they will have enterprise edition or unlimited edition, because enterprise edition alone is providing you a automation feature, right? As we explained now, the workflow automation, the process automation is not there in the professional edition. So you will basically find only an edition, enterprise edition in real time or unlimited edition. Able to follow? So then how can I learn? I am going to connect right for the training for more than a month, but all these applicable only for a 30 days trial, then how can you connect it? Salesforce is providing here an edition called a developer edition. All these edition which are called pay editions, right? You have to pay for it. Only 30 days trial is right is applicable. But the edition which I am going to explain you called developer edition. It's a full featured copy of Force.com. There is no expiry date for this edition. If you enroll for this, you'll be able to hold this license, the login on your lifetime. It will not expire at all. There is no expiry date for this login. The reason why they are introducing this edition to market about the product, right? To customer will have enough time to know about the Salesforce edition, all features, and they can anytime they would like to upgrade to the pay edition, they have a very good amount of time to know completely about Salesforce, right? So the developer edition is the edition we are going to use for our training purpose. Any question on this? So I am enrolling. Sorry to hold you for this late time. I will give you good information about the product. I am just holding you. So what do you think? Would like to hold for a few minutes, or all of you?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, fine.
Fine. Okay. Thanks. Even I feel very tired. I went outside and came back connecting for longer duration. So I give the details. Now I will send you this link. You just registered for developer edition. Some of you might have registered, I guess. Nandini, yourself you told, right?
I have done it.
Okay. So the username should be in the form of email ID. Okay, username should be in the form of email ID. This is my 42 batch. So if you give the email ID in the email format, username, password. So what happens? Check your email to confirm your email account. So give the proper correct email ID. So that you will Salesforce will use that email ID to communicate for your password or many other information. So click on this link and reset the password. Rajesh, able to follow? Rajesh?
Yes.
Fine, yeah. So you can see that directly, right? I log in into Lightning part of the application. So, right, this will not entire platform. The Salesforce feature has been connected to Lightning, but to market the Lightning, to focus Lightning more in the future, they enable you to log in automatically to Lightning. But you have option to switch between the login. So click on the right side icon, switch to Salesforce Classic. So we'll first learn the Salesforce Classic, then and there I will come back and show you the Lightning part of the application. So that's how the course will go. So this is the typical Salesforce login. The first time when I log in, I reset the password, I click on this link, I reset the password, directly I am logging into the application. But going forward, what you will do, you will log out, and you will use login.salesforce.com as your login ID, login URL, and the ID will be right. I created the login ID and password. So next time onwards, you log in into. So right, optionally you can register your mobile, or else you can skip this, and you will see I'm able to log in. And what you are seeing in the URL, some 3 characters in the first. So this is nothing but a server location, where the space is allocated. Because when I registered, I chosen the country as India. So Asia specific region server is being right a part of space allocated in the Asian specific region. So they have a data center in 3 regions. Just an additional information. Asian Pacific, Europe, Northeast, East Asian countries, Middle East countries, African countries, and North America. So these 3 regions, right, they are holding the data center. So, right, I am allocated a space in the AP5. There are 5, I think there are 5 or 8 regions. No, one regions, they allocated space dynamically. Right? So it's nowhere, it's right, wherever the space is allocated, there is no difference. Just depending upon the countries, the space is being allocated. That's it. So that's the URL. Now it's just to tell about the URL. And next thing is the standard qualifier, salesforce.com. Okay. And this is a typical login. And what you are seeing at the right side, sales, you'll see the interfaces are changed. These are all interfaces. Service interface is changed. And what is sales is nothing but it's a sales cloud, a sales part of the application. What you are seeing at the right side is a predefined applications. So what you are seeing here, these are called interfaces. In Salesforce, these are all called tab. You got me? So what you are seeing at the right side is called application. And what you are seeing in the left side, those are all called tab. The tab is application is a collection of tab. I can say like that, right? Collection of tab specific to a business purpose, right? So if I'm in the sales application, I'm seeing a campaign interface, lead, account, contact, all these tabs. If I'm into a marketing application, what I'm seeing, campaign, lead, contact. I'm not seeing account because there is no customers for right. Marketing is mainly involved for the new prospects. So they have only campaign, lead, and contact and operation. Okay. So application, predefined application, collection of tabs all together is called application. And if you see the App Exchange, right, where I explained about here. Right, like a Play Store. You see here, you click on this, it takes you to the appexchange.salesforce.com. It's like your Play Store, right? You see a number of different products. So you can you play whatever the product is suited for your when you need it. It can be a free product or it can be a pricing product. So you can download from this, right? You will learn eventually, right? You will learn what is the use of App Exchange. Okay, and if you see here at the top, right left, there is a setup link. So what you are seeing here, force.com. So this is where I told you there are various point and click and drag and drop where you can customize application. Suppose I would like to create a table. You see here, you can find schema builder option. Click in this. So there is a tab called element. So I'm going to create a table. The table in Salesforce is called object. The table in Salesforce is termed as object. To drag and drop, I'm going to create an employee table. The plural name which I'm going to give is going to be the tab name. So rest of things, right, I will explain this as part of the course later. So save this. The table is being created. How to create a field to store the employee location, for example. So scroll down, we have text field. So I name it as city. So 10 characters or 15 characters, whatever. I make this field as a record field. So it means the user cannot store any record into a row into table object employee without giving value to this city field. Right? I created this. So table is being created, right? You are not doing any coding or something to create the table. This is actually a part of a declarative features where the drag and drop you can able to create the table. And how to add a user into Salesforce? You manage users, click new user, give the name of the users, and assign the permission for the user and save. The user will be created. So user will get notified by the email with user ID password. So that's how you can add the users. Now how the security is being defined under security control. So how the application can be coded, using a programming language. So we have option to create a Visual Force page. So there are two types of language: Visual Force page and start called as VF, Visual Force and Apex. No, it's not everything can be achieved declaratively, right? Sometimes you need program as a solution. So Visual Force is nothing but it's like your HTML. Everything is tag oriented. Like in HTML you will give a head, header of the page in between the header tag. So each tag will be having a closer tag. So we will have something in between this tag. So similarly, the app is nothing but like a class. Now you will write all your business logic inside the class. You will write all your logic inside the class, right? So this actually two basic language, Visual Force and HTML. So I cover everything from the scratch. I assure you, I can give good basics, and we'll also cover some advanced things also as part of development. You'll find eventually you will be able to do your programming on your own. So that's how the curriculum is being set. I usually go from the scratch slowly. I recall the things. I have a questionnaire session in between. So that's how you'll find interesting to follow the class. That's I can assure you. So first thing in the part of the course, right? We'll concentrate first on administrative part of the course, where you will learn about all the declarative features, right? Like a schema builder, like a manage users, like a security model. Everything you will learn about in the administrative part, which will go for 20 working days. Then next we will move on to a development part, right? So before we move on to development part, we'll have a number of recap sessions along with regular session to know about, evaluate yourself, right? How strong you are in any queries you have, and all those things. And apart from this, I have a Facebook group, and I have my own website, to provide you updated materials. Whenever interview questions, the Salesforce basic, everything I keep on updating this site to help you with more information. And in my forum, Facebook forum, LinkedIn forum, I usually share. I retain connectivity with the different candidates, so you'll be able to find more useful information there. So you'll stay connected always, not till you get a job, because I always guide them, candidate, till they get the job. So I usually record my everyday session and put it in my drive and share you all of it. So if you see here, so if you miss any part of the session, you will have time to go through this video, and you'll get back to me if you have any queries. Sorry, non-stop I keep on speaking. Any queries here?
Ranjit, what would be the duration of the complete course, and on a daily basis, what would be the timings?
2 months, Nandini.
Okay, Ranjit. And
2 months.
daily?
Daily, yeah. It's your Monday to Friday. Your I'll tell you my time. Okay, Tuesday to Saturday.
Okay.
7 a.m. IST.
Okay.
All right. So it's
7 or 7:30?
7, Rajesh. Today I just made the demo by 7:30. So usually the course will be at 7.
Okay.
Oh, is it 2 hours, Ranjit? Or
No, not 2 hours. First 30 minutes will connect. Then 5 minutes break. We'll again connect for another 40 minutes. So it's all around. It's 1.5 hours maximum.
Okay.
Fine. It will be very late for you. Sometimes I see the candidate, they logged in, but they put a mute and they slept. So that kind of things I don't want to. So be active and no, take a break and come back and no, say if a longer duration course, you may lose interest. So that's why I make the course accordingly. 2 months course. At least 2 months you have to connect. Else you cannot transition to any technology. You cannot do it in a day or in a month. No, it's the interview preparation folder. No, recently I did. You see the date. So I gave the students the way they have to prepare. It's not like I did the course and I leave the student prepare on your own. It's not like that. I gave them because hard work will not going to help you always. Smart work, some roadmap you should have. How to prepare, some plan you should have in your mind, to work with the plan to reach your goal. So that's how I gave you all of you how to prepare on yourself, where you are lagging. So that part, then how you can remove that backlog. So that way I will help you. So don't worry. And videos, everyday videos will be recorded and shared, in respective folders. So this validity will be always be there. You can it will not be go away, right? Because as long as I am here, it will be valid. So all this everyday session will be recorded. Okay. So and notes. No, I will provide always the customized notes for you to learn the things. Right. So yeah, tell me. I think I'm done with the course. Whatever, like I keep on. No, there are a lot of information I can give, but it's enough. I think record information I given. Any queries? So how do you feel? How do you feel? Able to follow, or you still need some clarification, or you need to think of, or anything like to discuss before you wind up?
Yeah, able to follow. It's good, Ranjit.
Yeah, able to follow Ranjit, but because it's very new to me, like I'm not, I'm not sure like whether I got everything correct, but I can easily understand like how it goes. Yeah.
That's that's how it will go. It's not like no, because the prerequisite is not you should have knowledge about Salesforce. You can be a new, right? Someone from non-IT background also would like to set up a career in Salesforce. So the course, the way I have to explain to them, it's a kind of it's kind of sometimes a layman language, sometimes it's professional, technical terminology. So that's how the course curriculum will be. So you will find you'll be able to follow each and every concept. So don't worry on that. So the effort from your end is absolutely required. If you sync with me for everyday session, at least spend an hour. If you have time on the weekend, just spend an hour. So depending upon how much effort you put, you will find more easy to grasp the things and reach your goal. So that's I can assure you. I am ready to help you at any time, clarify any queries for all of you. Okay. So still people are in touch with me. So all these things I have to show you because people won't realize, the things. That's the reason I'm showing you 1 minute. See, I ask them, right, whether you are able to follow. I get all the feedbacks, in between the candidates. Right? So they're happy to share their comment. They're happy to share the comment. So these are all these guys, MS guy, MS student. Recently did the MS and like to transition to like to learn Salesforce. Nowhere into IT, right? It's not into IT. It's from MS new guy. Right? They feel good in following up the things content. So now, right, he sent me a lot of emails about he and the lot of candidates, Sindhu, candidates called Sindhu. So he's also an MS student, like to learn Salesforce. So don't worry, like whatever be the right your current knowledge or status, I can help you, all of you. And the certification part is there in Salesforce. So I can help you with frequently asked questions, and I can help you to clear your certifications. So there are two basic certifications in Salesforce: the admin certification and developer certification. Right? Many of my candidates have completed recently, the admin certification, and some candidates have completed all three certifications, additional certifications. So I can help you to do the certification. Okay. So I think I'm holding you for longer time. If you have no queries, then we'll. So by next week Tuesday, I'm going to start my batch. So will you confirm me, or how do you want me to go? Shall I share the link, new link for to join the course? All of you.
Yeah. Yes.
Dharani, Nandini, Rajesh, all of you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ranjit.
Fine.
Yes, Ranjit. Yeah.
Right. So I'm going to have a demo tomorrow morning 7 a.m. and again on Saturday and Sunday, Monday. Not till Monday, I'm going to have a demo in the morning. If anyone is interested, so right, then I'm going to have a demo. If possible, you can refer any friends or anyone if interested. Let them know. The demo is there for another 4 days. So by next Tuesday, my time 7 a.m. IST, we'll now start with the course. I will share the link to all of you. Okay.
So are we not going to have any class tomorrow and tomorrow and after tomorrow?
No, Rajesh, because there are some candidates, they couldn't able to attend the demo today, so they want a demo tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So that's the reason I couldn't have a class this week.
Okay, that's fine. In the meantime, like if you share your previous recordings or something, it's really good for us. We can.
Pardon. Tell me, come again.
If you send us a link or something, the previous recording or the next class or something, then we will.
Right.
To
To have an idea, right? Yeah, we'll share any link to you. Sure. I recently had a similar demo with an American. The guy American, so felt very happy, to continue the course. So he will also join from Tuesday onwards. I can share that demo link also. You can see how he is interacting, in the session, and you will have some confidence because they are not guys like go with the new thing. Suddenly they will analyze more. They will really evaluate evaluate you in a right sense, right? Whether you are mature enough to provide the things in a right way manner. In that sense, he provides some feedback, so I can share the link to all of you. You can go through that. Okay. And apart from that, some part of the course link also I see and I will share with you.
Okay.
Okay, then take care. Good night. We'll see you on Tuesday. I'll share the link later.
Thanks, Ranjit.
Thanks, Nandini. Thanks for it. Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.